So I know you've all been waiting to hear back on some results. Everyone's saying, oh, I hope that you get the results that you want. I hope results stay as good. And I just want to say, first of all, thank you very much. And the results said I'm pregnant. College was weird. Let's talk about Summer in the City 2015 because it has done pretty much nothing but rain since, and I am now very much back in the country. Last year's Summer in the City was one of the most amazing weekends I have ever had. So I've been pretty excited for this year's. That sweet, sweet YouTube hype. So the weekend came around. Oh, he's only gone and spent another weekend in London, hasn't he? I guess this is something of a sequel to last year's video, and like all good sequels, it should add characters, raise the stakes, and still contain worthy throwbacks to the original. Wish me luck. There might even be a bromance or two. I have no idea who that was. I tried to vlog the whole weekend. Couldn't do it. We're off to a great start. This was my second year at the event, and already things were changing. First of all, no more Alexandra Palace, which I quite liked. Summer in the City is now held at the same place that Comic-Con is. I half expected to get there and see people cosplaying as Dodie Clark and Ben Cook. Not at the same time, although if fan art of that exists, keep it to yourself. It's probably very disturbing. There were so many people with blue hair and whiskers that I feel like there might have been some kind of dress code that I missed out on. But I went dressed as Kanye West without realising. Anyway, let's talk about Creator Day. I got up to London quite early and walked right in to see the good old... They've got fairground rides. Why have they got fairground rides? They've got bumper cars. Why have they got bumper cars? They've got... Oh, they've got friends of mine.
Yay! If this wasn't you, we were going to be in some, like... It's for a documentary, I don't know.
I think it's in the spirit of YouTube gatherings that I meet people almost immediately upon arrival. This time was a little bit less spontaneous though, but just as enjoyable.
Take over. Take over while I chew. While I chew.
Should I say what you're thinking? What? Right. I'm here at Summer in the City with Beth. Follow her because she deserves more subscribers than she has. And she's a good Scottish person. Is that what you're thinking?
No.
As for the day itself, I had a great time. I had one little gripe though. Basically, someone let the cat out of the bag about Creator Day. Was it you, Tiffany? I swear to God, this is your last warning, Tiffany. You know what happens if the council gets involved. I mean, sports. Anyway, last year everyone said, oh, Creator Day is awesome. We can walk up to our favourite creators and talk to them. No lines, no divide. This year there were a few lines. I think this was bound to happen and they weren't everywhere for every single person, but I think we were all a little bit disappointed. This was meant to be sacred. In spite of that though, I think we all still had a really great time. My priorities were less on meeting people that I had watched online and more on meeting friends that I'd made online and kind of hanging out with them IRL. I just said IRL.
You guys, Amelia's winning. Will, get up in there. No, you want to.
Overall, I still had a great time with Creator Day. It didn't have that feeling of newness that came with last year, but I still would recommend it to anyone who wants to make videos or does make videos. What I think it needs, however, is more interactivity. Not just panels and talks, but workshops, you know, things you can try out, things that you wouldn't normally get to experience, and things that will really help improve your work. The atmosphere at Creator Day is one of my favourite things because it involves people who are just as excited about creating things as they are about watching things, and it would be really cool if when you put that all together, we could make something while we're there.
What is happening? I don't know.
When the day was over, we went out and did the most British of things. Have a Nando's. If I hear the C word pass a single person's lips, I'm coming for you. I'm looking at you, Tiffany, again. You're on thin ice, Tiffany. I remember when the most British thing was having tea and crumpets. Not anymore. No, it's like kinda spicy chicken. It's funny how things change, isn't it?
Amelia. See, Taha goes for weird. You just go for just friendly. Will's busy reading. Oh. Will goes for weird as well. Yeah. Yeah!
Of the 7 people at our table, me and Taha were the only 2 who had actually eaten Nando's before, so there were a lot of thoughts on it.
5 words?
Yeah.
It seems nice, but dry.
John, you're up.
Oh god. Cheeky mate, absolute ledge broth.
That was
I don't know how you're gonna top that.
kind of okay, just okay.
I feel extremely cheeky now.
I feel super British, lads.
Oh wow.
Subscribe to my YouTube channel.
And when all the dust and banter had settled on the restaurant floor, we headed back to our hotels. In the morning, I woke up a little bit late. I think old habits die hard. And after figuring out who was already at the convention centre and who was on their way, I tried to figure out where exactly I was. I had to get the train there, and while we're on the subject of London transport, I've got a few things to say. I hate trying to find out where I'm going in London. It's awful. Look at a map of New York. It's nice, it's good, grid patterns, very, very nice, thank you. Look at a map of London. This makes no sense. This looks like a stain. That being said, I loved the Tube last time we talked about this. Not anymore, Tube's a thing of the past. The DLR. It's all about the DLR now. It's like the Tube, but there's buildings, you're high up. I don't think I'm doing it justice. The rest of the weekend was a bit busy. There's crowds and giant Pikachus, and everyone screams if you say Dan and Phil's names too loud. Seriously, I think the biggest screams of the weekend came from Dan and Phil talking about a sim that they'd made. I'm not an expert, but I'm pretty sure this is how religions get started. Anyway, in spite of the number of people, I think my Saturday was surprisingly chilled out. Like last year, I spent most of it in the open mic room, which is now no longer a room, but a corner of a giant hall, which means that the nice seclusion and comfort that comes from being in there is gone. It does mean that you're a lot louder though, which is quite cool. Everyone was pretty impressive though, lots of really good talent. Complete tangent, the thing that I've heard most this week, aside from high-pitched screams, is, oh, you're a lot taller than I imagined. I don't know if I've asked this before, but how tall do I look? Everyone I met thought that I'd be like down here. I'm not down here, I'm up here. I'm glad we got that sorted out. Anyway, back to business. Remember how Ray took my camera last year? I mean, it's almost tradition at this point, isn't it?
Can I interview people again? Alright.
Run wild, Ray.
Can I interview you for the Daily Mail?
I don't mind.
Yeah, both of you, that's fine. All of you if you want. You too. Who are you here to see today?
We're going to see Charlie McDonald's Cereal Time.
Charlie McDonald.
Yeah! I love cereal. What's the favourite cereal?
Fruit Loops.
The rest of Saturday was really nice because there were even more people there who couldn't make it to Creator Day. And when the day was over, we did the second most British thing. We went to the pub. And when the pub was over,
There we go. Camera going off in like 30 seconds. This is the coolest thing I've ever done.
yeah. I won't go into the specifics of everything, but let me just say, Gary, you're a wonderful man. I think that was maybe one of the most amazing nights I've ever had. Sunday was, I think sweet is the best word for it. We'd all spent the past 2 days getting to know each other, and Sunday felt like we were at our peak, and nobody wanted to let that go because we knew we didn't have much time left. We spent the day back at the open mic and meeting more friends and exploring. I didn't feel much of it.
Hello, I am the new Sam. This is my super stuff. I have many fans and like hugging people. Now describe yourself in 5 words, audience.
Subscribe to my YouTube channel.
What I did film, however, was the small YouTubers panel.
Oh, damn.
Oh, it's about time! Yay! That was nice. I enjoyed that.
This is the small YouTubers panel. Hype.
That's good. Can I get a little bit more like a Little John? Just some raw.
Little John.
Little John, just some raw energy.
Yo, I have more money than most of the population of my cultural background, but I
Did
don't.
you say background?
Don't kill me, Sam.
The small YouTubers panel was pretty cool. I didn't get to go last year, and everyone said that it was one of the best things about Summer in the City. And this year I knew quite a few of the panelists, which was pretty awesome. Overall, I had a really good time. I think the coolest thing was just the atmosphere in the room. I think John put it best when he said that he really felt the YouTube community's, existence there. Everyone in the panel room was not just happy and excited, but supportive. That was worth it alone, not to mention that the panelists I thought were really good, especially Fran. Fran, shout out to Fran one time, dropping some YouTube knowledge bombs.
How we should really embrace and celebrate being smaller YouTubers, because it's not like the exact truth that it's better to be bigger.
Wrapping up Summer in the City last year was Emma's, head shaving event, which was very, very cool. This year was a little bit more insane. All I'm going to say is that if you've never raved to Mr. Weeble in a crowd full of people and surrounded by some of your best friends, I mean, get with it.
Subscribe to my YouTube channel.
I didn't get to have the goodbyes that I wanted this year because the train service is an awful thing that stops at an awfully early hour, which kind of sucks, and note to self, get a hotel room for 3 days. What astounded me, however, were the lengths that people were willing to go to make sure that I didn't have to spend a night stranded in London by myself. What would have been this terrifying and isolating experience became this you know, really supportive one, and I think that that really embodies the whole weekend for me. Last year, I went to Summer in the City not really knowing anyone. I made my last Summer in the City video to about 350 people, and I was more than happy with that number, but I did very much feel like I was on the outside of the community looking in. And this year, that couldn't be further from the truth. I did the open mic again this year, no footage, don't go looking for it. And when I was done, rather than walking around the convention center, you know, by myself and kind of wrapped up in my own head, I got this big hug from all of my friends. I bought a 1080 magazine last year, and this year, I was in it. I don't say all of this to brag, and I really hope that's not how it sounds. I have a million people to thank for making that weekend what it was, but I don't think that I would even be in the position to go if it weren't for every single one of you, so thank you so much.
State your name and rank and all the things.
I'm Louis Zimmer.
Alice.
Jessie and Alice, hello.
I'm Alina. Aisha.
Aisha.
Hi, I'm Carlotta. Hi, I'm Carol.
To all of you who came and said hi, just thank you. You made my day. Beth will tell you how much I smiled afterwards. It was ridiculous. You're all very awesome. I think the theme of last year's Summer in the City was, hey, the YouTube community is really awesome. And without sounding too cheesy,
Yes.
I think the theme of this year's for me was, you know, and maybe you belong here. And that's pretty cool. I am Sam, that was some stuff. I will see you next time. Okay, bye.